Just had the opportunity to see Chris's presentation on AI. It was outstanding. It was accessible, informative, and Chris delivered with a ton of energy. I think what I liked most about it was that he had prepared well to really apply the material to our industry. AI became very, very practical. We can apply it, and really Chris gave us some great take-homes I can immediately apply to our organization. Well worth the time invested.
So I did a search on ChatGPT, and I said, I'm looking for nursing jobs in Texas. So it gave me a list right here. So how many is this? 5, right? So this is a list of 5. Hospital system, location, and it gives me notes and a link to the hospital. So what does this mean for us? This means that if we're not top 5, like I said, then we're missing out. So if you're posting jobs out there, you're trying to get candidates, and this is one of the ways you want to do it, because these jobs might be posted specifically on their website. This might not even be on Indeed. It might just be on the website. So it's pulling from that data. So if you're not on this list, you got to figure out, okay, well, what are they doing that's different from what we're doing? Maybe their website is formatted differently. Maybe the layout is different. Maybe they have more information on their job description. So this isn't really the most important part whenever I search ChatGPT. The most important part is the follow-up questions that ChatGPT asks the searcher. So now it says, if you tell me which city or county you prefer or what type of nursing you want, I can pull up a list of jobs in your preferred area, plus help you target the ones most likely to hire. So of course, most people that are looking at this, they're going to say yes. And that's when it even gets more detailed. So you want to answer these questions and see what ChatGPT pulls up for your type of industry, your type of organization, and see if your content pulls up. If not, you need to go to your website and check out what are you doing that can be changed that's more similar to the people that are coming up. And something cool is you can even ask ChatGPT why you listed those websites you listed. And it'll give you the answer on why they're listed. Sometimes they say, okay, well, do you want me to put your brand on the top of the list? So they even do that as well. But in general, you want to be mindful of that. This one, I said, I'm looking for top San Antonio hospitals for surgery. Again, same thing, list of about 5. And a lot of times what we're seeing right now is they give you different options based on what you're searching. So they'll say, well, this one's good for this type of surgery. This is good for if you're in a rush. This is for good if you're in this neighborhood. And then it even gives you advice, tips to check and ask before choosing. All right, type of surgery, patient safety and outcomes. So again, if you see this, you need to have these answers on your website. That's why FAQs are so important. So they're not just for the patients, but it's for search engines. So if you have FAQs on your website, Google's going to pull it, ChatGPT is going to pull it, and it's going to help them recommend your brand online. And so voice search is an area, it's not highly used right now, but I see it in the future being used more often. But when it comes to voice, think about what are people talking like versus what are they typing in. So we speak differently than we type, right? So have that in mind when it comes to the content on your website and other areas where you have content. And we've already heard people saying that, well, they do have, they're starting to use voice to talk to ChatGPT. Anybody use ChatGPT or other searches, AI searches to look for products and services? Okay, what type of products? Anything?
I looked for heel cushions yesterday for my uncomfortable shoes.
Oh, okay, wow. All right.
That wasn't healthcare related.
Yeah, okay, for sure. So again, yeah, so a good way. And now Google even has a new product that they released 2 weeks ago, where if you're looking for a certain service, it can literally call the businesses for you and ask for prices and get you a list. It'll email you a list of prices in the area after they give a call to the businesses. So all you gotta do is type in look for prices for me. So AI for user experience. So what direction is this train going, this bus going? Left or right? Left or right? Another free trip to Houston available? Nah. So we'll never know, right? But some people might say it's going to the left based on what he's looking for. Somebody might say it's going to a right, but in general, we don't know. So I bring this up when it comes to the experience that we're giving our customers, patients, everyone, and even the users that go to our online websites, right? So I have Dallas Medical Center. I took a screenshot of this homepage, and I told myself, what if we made this website a little bit better? What can we do to engage people that are on the website? I put it in the AI tool, and it gave us specific tips on how we want to have better call to actions, you want to have better colors, you want to have better engagement, and you want to move a lot of the most important content up to the top before people start scrolling. So again, useful content that you can do with any type of facility that you have. So why do you think people resist change? Any idea? Why do you think people resist change? Scary? Yeah, we've always done it this way, right? So it could be uncertainty. They just don't know what's going to happen. So if somebody says, okay, things are going to change, they don't know what that means. It could be a change in their career. It could be a change in their location that they have to work at. Do they have a job, right? So you want to explain the change. And even AI is a big change. So if you say, well, we're going to start using this product or service right now, then that's a huge change. So you want to make sure that you're explaining what the change means. Right? So not only that, but thinking about concerns about competence. So when it comes to AI, people might be excited about it, but they might reject it just because they don't know how to use it. So that's when you want to do training and development for your team as far as introducing new software, new AI tools, and then showing them how to use it effectively. Right? And some people feel like it's more work. So sometimes it is more work, but eventually it turns into less work if the tool is effective. All right, so lastly, let's talk about tracking and predicting. So remember, that's another key word that we're talking about, tracking and predicting. So tracking and predicting. So this is analytics. So Google Analytics is a free tool, and what it does is internal traffic, so intranet. If you want to figure out, well, what are your employees looking at as far as the pages? So we had one client, we did training on just overall analytics in this tool, and they wanted to figure out, well, what do our employees engage with the most? So after using this tool and researching, we found that many of the employees engage the most with anniversary posts. So 10 years anniversary at the company, 20-year anniversary at the company. And so what that tells this team is that they can post more content in the intranet for that. So this is for intranet and also external website as well. So it tells you active users at the moment. And the good thing about it is AI is there, so it helps you predict how many visitors you are going to have in the future. Next 30 days, how many visitors you're going to have, and not only just any visitors on your site, but what are they going to be doing on your site? Are they going to be submitting a form? Or are they going to be giving calls? Based on the past data, it's going to show you what's been going on. So it also shows you, well, what type of phone they're using, what type of device they're using. It could be Chromebook, iPad, what kind of browser, what type of computer, so iPhone, Safari. So not only does it show you what type of phone they're using, but it tells you if they're standing up or sitting down while they're on their website. Just kidding, I didn't say that. So it's AI, you never know, right? So you never know. So risk of AI. So when it comes to the risk, you got to have human oversight, or else AI is going to take over, right? That's kidding. But biases. So we don't know who is creating these tools. We don't even know what country they're in, right? So when they're creating these AI tools, they might not have everyone in mind. They might just have a certain group of people in mind. Maybe the people that they're familiar with, or the people that they work with, right? The people that they have experience in their specific country. Transparency with the public. So if we're using these tools that affect the patients that we're seeing, then we want to be upfront about how we're using the technology. And we see this in a lot of industries that use like cameras and transportation and buses, right? You want to make sure that people are aware of how it's being used. And could increase the disconnect between clinicians. So we want to make sure that we still have that personal touch and we're still connecting. We don't want to have technology take over that experience that people get when they're using our facilities. So let's watch this video on some of the other risks.
Grandpa, I'm fine. This is just AI. You don't need to wire money to anyone. I am not in love with you. And I do not need your money for a plane ticket. I am AI.
This fake moon landing footage isn't classified. It's AI.
You're probably wondering how I got rich with crypto. The truth is, I didn't get rich off crypto. I don't even exist.
You might be able to tell this is fake now, but it's gonna keep getting better.
We're all AI.
There could be aliens, but I'm not one of them. I'm AI.
An herbal supplement did not cure my cancer. I'm not even real.
Uncle Fred, the government has not been taken over by lizard people.
You don't need to send us $5,000 in gift cards because you missed jury duty.
Grandma, it's not real. It's AI.
It's AI. It's AI.
Bro, it's AI.
Fake faces.
Real consequences.
Think before you trust.
All right, I'm not real, it's AI. Nah, just kidding. So in general, so you want to be careful. Some people watch this video and say, well, what do I do now? How do I know what's real or fake? The idea is you want to be careful of the scams, right? The scams that are out there. Some people say that they have safe words when it comes to their family, right? So even the voice tool I said earlier, scammers are talking like your relatives, like your daughter, your wife or husband. They say, hey, I need some money real quick and I'm in a bind, right? So again, nothing wrong with just hanging up the phone and calling that person, right? So make sure you're aware of all the scams that are possibly happening when it comes to AI. All right, so future growth. So generative AI, more advanced, able to plan and complete complex tasks. So that's what the community is waiting for right now. So right now we're telling it what to do and we have to do step by step exactly what we need, but eventually it's gonna get to the point where it can use more complex tasks and faster drug recovery, personalized treatments, and more regulation, ethics and regulation in bias and fair use as well. So remember that 20% of what we do generates 80% of the value, and 80% of what we do only generates 20% of the value. So we want to use AI to help us figure out how can we focus on that 20% that generates most of the value for us. And overall, don't overthink this. All right, so my name is Chris, and what we do is we do AI consulting and we do training on these tools and these topics. And if you scan this, I'll give you the list of the tools that we discussed today. So I know it's a lot, all right, so I'm gonna send you the email so you can scan it as well. And here's my email address, and let's connect on LinkedIn and Instagram as well. Chris N. West on Instagram and Chris Cheetham-West on LinkedIn.